Hello everyone, how's it going? My name is Adam Pickle, and today we are continuing our work on our conveyor belt highway. The plan's rather simple. I am currently building a rocket-fueled power plant city. It's a bit of a mouthful to try and say, but essentially to power this city I need to gather a lot of resources. I want to try and belt most of them in, drone in a couple others as well, and the best way for me to try and do that is by using this, the conveyor belt highway. There's many different parts of this highway that I've previously showed in our last stream, and I think the stream before that as well. But essentially, underneath on our little logistics floor, we've got tons of room for conveyor belts. On top, we've got a road and a hypertube system as well. And over there, which as you can see, it's still very much a construction site, we've got our coal power plant, which is now being almost fully connected to our rocket fuel power plant. Just in the background, you can almost see one pixel of it there. You can actually see the start of it over there. But yes, so that's quite good. The plan for today is going to be rather simple. In fact, you can actually see it down there as well. What I want to try and do is connect this conveyor belt highway from down here all the way up around to there. In fact, you can already see I've come down by quite a way, hence why the map's forming a little bit like that. I also then want to jut out over here to the left, where I want to try and gather some nitrogen gas and some sulfur, which should hopefully be fantastic, and then hopefully try and plan out the remainder of this conveyor belt highway process, because this is going to take a while. I know it's going to take a while, but hopefully it will be pretty good fun. Now, there is one thing I do desperately have to try and actually do, and that is make a T-junction. And the reason I was going to do this off camera, as I have done down there, but the reason why I wanted to do this on camera at the very start of the stream is so that you guys can see what exactly I'm actually meaning by logistics floor and what I'm trying to build with these blueprints. So underneath here, you're going to have all your conveyor belts. In the center here, you are going to have one of these pillars, which if I actually show you underneath where I'm currently standing, I've started to do over here, for example. The reason why I add these pillars is because when it's floating like this, it looks a bit weird. I much prefer that. And the design that I've gone for is not dreadful, in my opinion. Everyone has their own opinions. I don't think it's bad. I've made much worse in the past. So that's the plan that we're going to go for down there. And for this T-junction, it's basically this, but without that. So I can do something like this, for example, where I can have the road continuing straight with another road connecting to it. Pretty self-explanatory. I had this blueprint done before, but unfortunately, when I switched over my PCs, most of my blueprints got deleted. So we are trying to redo and remake quite a lot of them now. Redo a lot of them now. Deary me. Yeah, either way, hope that you guys are doing good. Thank you very much for tuning into the stream today. Merry Christmas, in case you guys aren't here tomorrow. The Christmas Eve stream, which will be my last stream of... Damn. Wait. My last stream of the... not the year. Until Christmas is tomorrow. So, yeah. Welcome, Johnny. Hope that you're doing good. Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, today's stream is going to be about 2 hours long. I've got a bit of a busy evening, so I don't think I can stream for as long as I normally do, but I want to try and stream for as long as I can regardless, because I enjoy it. I want to try and get some progress done today as well. Also, a bit of a fun fact. If a few of you have been around for a while, you'd know that I have a few members, which is incredible. And the membership tier that I offer, this isn't a plug by the way, don't worry, but the membership tier that I offer is called Knight of the Realm. The reason as to why I chose that is because I wanted to go with some sort of medieval Valharden theme for my channel, hence the channel name. And it's called Knight of the Realm. Well, I was playing Total War Warhammer 3 today, and I realized there's a unit in the game, which is actually quite good, called Knights of the Realm. And that's my membership tier. I know Knights of the Realm isn't necessarily the most unique, rare name in the world, but I just thought it was kind of funny that I had absolutely no idea that the game I was playing, and I put a good few hours into now, had a unit that is also the same name as my channel memberships. But the more you know. A good and bad for today. Yeah, why not? We'll start with the good. Positivity. In fact, saying that, I'm not going to start with some negative points. I don't like Christmas music. I just want to throw that one out there. Bit of a curveball to start off the stream. I don't like Christmas music. Some of it's fine. Like, some of it's really good. White Christmas, my favorite Christmas song. Carol of the Bells, which I believe... Was that the song that was like a Ukrainian war song, and then they added English lyrics to it to make it a Christmas song? I believe that's how it started. So let me activate this screen. There we go. Yeah, that's quite a nice song. God rest ye merry gentlemen. I don't know if that's a Christmas song though. It's good though. But other than that, and I know like some of those songs are over 100 years old, but they're still good. The newer ones, no. There's not many new Christmas songs that I listen to and actually enjoy listening to, which is kind of weird, but oh well. Right, so regarding you lots now, I believe all I've got to do is the exact same thing that I did last time. So customizer, material, no, patterns, remove that. Then add in this. What's like that? Oh, we got an ad. Yay, Amazon again. Bloody hell. In case you guys aren't aware, I think I've said this quite a lot now, I've turned off ads to my channel, for these live streams at least. I just don't like a lot of the ads currently shown on YouTube. Until they fix that, then, yeah. I'll just keep on disabling ads. Which I know is quite bad for me, but, yeah. It's okay. Right, so that side's now done. Yeah, so everything there seems decent. That seems fine there as well. Okay. The good is you got your card and your debt monthly money is increased by a few dollars. Oh, nice. Always nice to get a few more. Especially around this time of year, at least. Okay, so I think we've done this. This is fine. The next thing that I want to try and do now is add a wall here. There you go. I'm trying to remember my own builds. Which is easier said than done. And I think I used this, didn't I? I don't know why I used this over concrete, but that's what I've done apparently. And what's the design that I went for? So it's black, concrete, black. Okay. So the exact same to this, but with a bit of concrete in the middle. I'm guessing I built it in the right place, although I don't actually know. I think what I'm going to do, this is a 2000 IQ move. I'm going to select my conveyor belt highway. It doesn't really matter which one of these I select, as long... Oh nice, it got rid of my blueprints. So I've got to start that all over again because of a bug. Cool. Okay, well that's awesome. Yeah, in case you guys don't know, there is currently a bug in the game. It's been in the game for ages. If you're building something on the blueprint designer and you just select a random blueprint, let me just say I'm going to select this one, it removes what you had on your blueprint designer and for whatever reason replaces it with the blueprints you've now selected. It will do this every single time until it decides to stop, basically, which for the most part is never. Unless you quit the game, then reopen it again. So I've just lost all my progress there. That's pretty cool. We are starting the day off with a bug. As a surprise to absolutely nobody. But oh well. Okay, so let's do that all over again. Okay. That's a bit of, actually, before I do that, let me just quit. See if this is going to work, because the problem is I am going to have to place down a blueprint right next to this, just so I can make sure that everything's lined up properly. That was the plan. But if this bug keeps happening, I physically can't place down the blueprints next to this blueprint. That's pretty cool. I was playing a bit earlier and encountered a few bugs, to be fair. I don't remember there being this many bugs in Satisfactory. As of right now, every few minutes I encounter a new one, which is a bit of a problem. It's a problem because they're all on Christmas break now, which is fair enough. They deserve it, obviously, but we're not going to get any bug fixes for probably like a good few weeks. Like, for example, when I try and select an object here, there's now a bunch of objects that are just called NA, rather than what you actually want it to be called. I know it's a very minor thing, but minor bugs add up to become major problems. In fact, what if I was to load this? No. This one. Because I'm hoping if I load this, I might have been able to save a little bit of my progress. Let's see. It won't be lots, but it'll be a tad bit at least. Potentially. Maybe not. Anything would be good. Yeah, how's everyone doing in the stream, by the way? Hope that everyone's doing good. I don't know if we're still shadow banned on YouTube. We might be. I'm not quite sure. I think we might be partially banned, which is a bit of a shame, but again, I'm not too surprised. Okay. So, if I can try and place you as close as I can to this, and that is pretty good to be fair, everything here should now be lining up. Actually, this is probably a pretty bad one to place down. I think this one will be slightly better. Are you lined up properly? Yes, you are. Great. Let's then push you back. Okay, now you're lined up. Great. Go with that. Did I see your badge? No, it didn't paste. I can't see it. Right, so you're not here. Okay, good. So you're actually over by one. See, this is the reason why I did this, because otherwise I would have definitely placed it along that side. As we can clearly see, that is actually not where it's supposed to be. Okay, then you then have to be placed inside of this. Is that correct? Oh. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Brilliant. And plop you down here, then down by one. I mean, these ones I have kind of knew where to place them, so that's not too bad. Still good to get confirmation though, as always. And I place you after every one of these. So if I actually get rid of a couple of them just for a sec, because I find it quite difficult sometimes to try and find the middle of these two. So it's a lot easier if I just do this. Now I can clearly see it. So you have to go somewhere here. No, I can... 500 sugar levels. That's it, really? How did that happen? I am doing this correct. Okay, I am doing it correct. Just making sure there, because sometimes I'll do something, and without double checking, I've done the wrong thing for about half an hour. And I'd much rather not do that if I can, since that's not very good, obviously. And just slot these back into there. That's perfect now. What's this? Braided cable, yes. I have been trying to use this a fair bit recently. And in all honesty, it's actually quite a nice buildable. I just want to try and find more uses for it. Hence why I'm building it in our conveyor belt highway. Okay, so I've got to redo all of this again. That's fine. Kind of annoying, but it is what it is. In fact, let me just save it again. Just in case our game crashes or we lose all of our progress again. There we go. Okay. Make sure to connect all of these. And how's the audio, by the way? Do let me know if the audio is too quiet or too loud. Because I haven't got my headset on today. Trying to take a little bit of a break. In fact, speaking of things I also want to try and do, which is completely off topic, but oh well. I want to try and leave my game AFK at least for a few hours today. Because I am really starting to run into a concrete problem, which is insane considering I had well over 250,000 of it just a few days ago. I don't know where it's gone. Well, I do actually. It's gone into this. But yeah, I definitely do think that I need to try and collect some concrete. Save up a little bit. Give myself some concrete for Christmas. There we go. Also, yeah, apologies again, there was no stream yesterday. I went back to London. I just loved it so much the first time. No, my parents wanted to go just to see the lights. And it was fine. I mean, I know what to expect. I'm pretty much a local now in London. Been there so many times. But I don't think we'll be going back for a while. So it was nice to see the lights. Even though we technically didn't see the lights because we left before it got dark in order to try and get our train. But we could at least imagine what the lights would have been like. Welcome, Pockets. Hope that you're doing good. Welcome to the stream. I want to try and get these out of the way with first. There we go. You could just hunt a bunch of Mercer spheres, improve your depots, produce more concrete. I could, but AFKing's a bit easier. I think I might have to get rid of the roof here at this rate. Doesn't seem to want to be going very straight now, does it? It's a bit of a shame. To properly address it, well, considering I'm going to be making a factory that's producing about 10,000 concrete a minute, I don't really care as of right now. The problem will solve itself. Considering I've only got a starter factory going, this is much more important. Noodles comment. You ate noodles as a gluten intolerant person because you love yourself. That's why you have what, diabetes from eating noodles. Did you have sugar in your noodles? I mean, because diabetes is caused from either your body. What is it? Obviously, it's from consuming too much sugar, but also your body can consume too much as well, can't it? Or produce too much. Are you lined up? Yeah, you're lined up. Then you're not. Okay, so let me just do this instead then. Overlapping. How is that overlapping? Buildables in a designer cannot be connected to world buildables. I'm not connecting it to a world buildable. Okay. Apparently I am. I'm using some dark arts to connect it to the rest of the world. Okay. There. Now I'm in the way of it apparently. Deary me. There we go. Okay, so you're fine. Now let's try and move on to these ones. Do I have to try and move you back? Oh, you look a bit weird. Yeah. Okay, so let's not place these in first then, because apparently that just messes up everything. Okay. Try that again. That seems a little bit better. There. There we go. Yeah, it works eventually. They're going to remove that one. It's not perfect, but luckily those yellow beam... What is that? Beam supports can just fix our mistakes. Hide the ugliness. Some of the ugliness. What's that? That's going to look good, I think. There we go. Lovely. So now we can try and, again, fix our not so pretty mistakes. It shouldn't really take that long, which is... Oh, handy. Nope. There we go. I mean, this blueprint's pretty much done. I have to get rid of this. And that's... Make sure you're connected again. Welcome, Vinod. Hope that you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. You don't have much stacks, but being gluten intolerant and having gluten apparently can give you type 2. Oh, right. Damn. We're going to make sure all of these don't look dreadful. There we go. Won't be here for too long. That's fine. Don't worry. I've got to get rid of a couple of these now. Nope, not that one. Then I have to do this? Yeah, that's the right place. Okay, good. It doesn't make much of a difference, but if I don't do it, it's going to very clearly stick out and look a little bit weird. I should be able to get rid of this now. Get some more concrete. Oh yeah, now it's this part of the wall, which actually shouldn't be that bad because I know the layout of what it's going to be. So it has to be you first, which is going to be on the same level as this. Yes. Okay, so apparently I can't place it down there. That's fine. Oh, wait. Because you're going off in a diagonal angle. Why? Why are you not going just straight? It's a vertical nudge, not an angled nudge. You can see... Oh, man. Okay, well... Nothing wants to be simple today. This is like the third or fourth thing that's gone wrong in the space of, what, 20 minutes? Damn. Holy crap. That seems a bit better now. One of those days where literally nothing is going as planned. Which is pretty much almost every day in my life. But it is what it is. Right, so zoop you across there. I'm guessing you're going through the wrong colour now. Fine. And paint it the right colour. Then come back over here, change it to concrete, do the exact same thing down here. And one more layer as this. Okay, so that's the first part done. I've done this. Okay. Wow, I just blanked out when I was doing that then. Because that's nice. Okay, so you're going to be conveyor belt highway junction. No. P section. There we go. Now, if I was to double check this blueprint. Everything here is still good. Nice. So, I should now be done with that. I very quickly just want to check that I've definitely saved this. I know I clearly have, but sometimes it doesn't actually save. That looks good. Okay. So, I can probably get rid of this now. And continue with the rest of the project. Ooh, we've actually got ourselves a dimensional depot. A personal storage crate. So... what should I do with this? How much room have I got on me? To be fair, what I could probably end up doing is just plopping down a couple of these blueprints. Then within probably 10 minutes, I can then just come back and collect that. Because we use a lot of our inventory very, very quick. So I think we'll definitely try and do that. And now that we've actually made ourselves the T-junction, all I have to do in theory is just, well, hook these up. That's about it. Let's go. How far out do I want to try and come? At least a couple more, I'd say. There we go. Did I get your comments on the VOD from some? I think I did, yes. Is this the right blueprint? It is. Brilliant. Are you facing the right way? I believe you are. Then you just lock into there. And now you're lined up. Okay, brilliant. So we are on the right track, which is nice, I suppose. You tried working with angles for your newest project. It looks cool, but working with them was terrible. There was a lot of clipping and Z fighting, I can imagine. Yeah. As you say, I don't mind working with angles, but they often don't work with me. That they're purposely trying to fight against my will of making something look nice and curvy. Which is why I always say I would like them to add curves into this game. Because they are adding tons of quality of life changes into Satisfactory now. And I feel like adding curves is a pretty big quality of life and obviously architectural thing as well. So I would absolutely not say no to that. That's for sure. I've got no idea which way you should be facing. There we go. Now I suppose is the moment of truth. Is everything here going to line up? There's a couple of things I'm pretty sure won't line up. These are the main ones. Okay, so everything here is off. Great. I've got to move you to the wall rather than to there. Okay. Anything else? This is all fine. That's all fine over there as well. Okay, great. Let's just chuck that in, I suppose. Yeah, a bit of a shame, but no dramas. Okay, then over here, what I want to try and add is this one. Cancel that. This one. There. Okay. I think you're actually facing the wrong way in theory. Yes, because I want you, the arrow, which is down there, to be facing to my left. So let's very quickly rotate you around, like so. Nudge you in. You're there. You're then there. That's great. You are then going to be to my left again, which should be right around here. Then what we are now going to try and do is come underneath here and just see if our logistics is lined up, because it should be. There's no reason why it shouldn't be. That's fine. It looks okay. Got a big gap in here, but I'm actually completely fine with that. I actually quite like the way it looks, if I'm honest. And worst case scenario, I could always add in... Which one even is it? It's one of my blueprints here that I haven't used in God knows how long. Is it... this one? Yeah, so this just slots in to here, I believe. Where is it? Somewhere like there. And then you can just put your power tower in here. And then it adds a nice little chunk of, I don't know, just rubbish to there if I needed it. But now I don't, because I've got this here and I've got that there. So that's always pretty good. And yeah, let's continue. Let's keep building this out. What I want to try and do is build this out as far as I can. We are then going to hook everything up to there and make sure that everything from the start of our cold power plants to what I've built over here so far is connected with power, obviously. That all the hypertube things are connected, that our power towers are in place, and that everything is perfect. The reason why I want to do this now rather than building everything out all the way down there then doing this is because I don't want to spend like 20 minutes doing this. I'd rather break it into much smaller chunks. It makes it more enjoyable as well, and it keeps the stream moving rather than just continuously doing the same thing for half an hour, then doing this for half an hour, then that for half an hour. It's more like 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. Anyway, yeah, let's continue going. Let's select you now. You facing the right way? You are. That's brilliant. There we go. Is that too far in? No, that's apparently now correct. Okay, great. Continue out now with this. I shouldn't have to save my game anymore because I'm not really messing around with blueprints. And because I've got autosaves every 5 minutes enabled, which is extremely important, luckily, if my game does crash, which it shouldn't do, then we should be alright. And there we go, I'm already out of concrete. That's what I was saying a second ago with my my resources. Let's come back, let's get the dismantle crates. Is there another one in front of me? We've got one there. No. Where's the other two? We've got one here. Is there not... there is 3 dismantle crates. Oh. Oh, I know why that's there. That's completely fine. Yeah, I can do that off camera. Essentially, that's just some inventory realignments and readjustments. I'm improving us, let's just say. Because in case you've never seen my inventory before, well, it's a bit ghastly, but I quite like it, at least. Everything's laid out the way I think it should be. The problem is, though, that I gave a lot of room and a lot of storage boxes to certain items that just didn't need that much room. So I'm reorganizing everything, and now because I've actually gained and researched a lot more items than what I had previously, I'm just trying to make sure that everything has enough room. It's quite important to do. There we go. Lovely. Yeah, working with angles can be quite annoying. I was thinking about doing a Planet Coaster live stream because I'm trying to build a lot. Well, I haven't actually played Planet Coaster properly in a good 4 months, but I was trying to build a Lord of the Rings inspired world, which sounds good on paper. The problem is, though, again, as I continuously talk about, I've only seen 10 minutes of Lord of the Rings properly. I've slept after then, or just gave up watching it. But I've seen images and memes of it. So I'm essentially trying to build a world inspired by Lord of the Rings memes at this point. Yeah. I might do one of those streams. Not today or tomorrow, but sometime maybe in the new year. Because I haven't really got that much time left before I've got to go back to university. So I want to try and make sure that I get the most out of it. If I can. Anyway, I'm trying to get up here to see if I've got any more valuable resources I can try and collect. Because there should be some stuff that I remember stuffing away in our last stream up here. So let's try and find that if we can. Yeah. The main thing I'm looking for is concrete. So far, nothing? Really? Have I seriously got 0 concrete here? Yes, I've actually got 0. Wow, okay. That's a bit of a shame. Iron plates. I suppose I could take some iron plates, but I'm just about to go back to my starter factory anyway. So we are obviously lacking some resources now. I do want to try and plop down maybe one more blueprint. Probably here, actually, if I'm honest with you. Ooh, that was close. Okay. At uni, I'm doing ancient history and archaeology because I want to be an archaeologist. Oh, this is the wrong blueprint. Okay, it's good that we actually saw it now rather than later. Although it is so dark, I can kind of barely see what I'm doing, as always, but... Oh. Perfect. I can afford one more, so let's just finish this off over here. There we go. And the reason why it looks like this is just going to a massive rock is because this building is going to come down by quite a fair bit until it touches the sea level, or pond level. So we're going to build some sort of wall, make it look quite nice. We're going to have a factory up there and another factory on this level as well. And the reason why I've connected this into here is because, again, this is a massive logistics floor. So if I'm producing any items in here, if I want to bring resources into here, I could either use the road above me, which is fine, or I could use that logistic floor. So that's kind of the plan there. It's kind of simple, but it's going to work, at least. There we go. So is there anything else I want to try and add now in this particular area? I don't... Well, yes, I've got to try and do all of these, don't I? There we go, then bring you forward a little bit. As far forward as I kind of can, really. Even though I am placing down quite a few of these blueprints, at the same time, I've still got a lot of work left to do. Lots of little, again, finicky bits that just need working on. How does that look? It looks a little bit weird. It does look a little bit weird. Let me try something here. What if I was to get rid of this? And can I not come vertically down with that? Guess not. Well, no, I can't do that because then that just peeks through it. If I do a half nudge, maybe? Like that. That doesn't look too bad. Yeah, we can go with that. I mean, does it look perfect? I don't know, but I don't really go for perfection. I'll just try and make it look decent. There we go. That one's now done. Brilliant. Like, this doesn't take too long to do. It really doesn't. It's just trying to find the basic idea for it. And then chuck you down here. And the last thing that I'm going to need is this. I think I've designed maybe 4 or 5 conveyor belt highways now. I think I like this. Because the problem is, every single time I try and do a new conveyor belt highway, I change the way that I do it. Like, I'll make it unique to some extent, which sounds fine, but the problem with doing that is, because I'm consistently and continuously trying to make something different, it narrows my ideas quite a lot, and also it can be rather challenging, but I don't mind a challenge. As long as it's a fun challenge. And yeah, it's not too bad. Oh, I can go to here. Just. If I go diagonal to here, and what I can probably end up doing is this? No. There we go. I mean, these look a little bit weird. I don't know why it's done that. Although I always seem to struggle with this. I don't know why. I can never make it just look normal, I suppose. Which is kind of annoying. So that's the auto mode. I'm trying to stand in a better place. No. 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 I mean, I will say that's probably the best one that I've got. Maybe you're angled a little bit too steeply. Alright, it's either that or straight. Right. What if I was to do just a few of these? Just experimenting here. I hope it doesn't... Oh, the computer doesn't kill your brain. No, it won't. What? Invalid pipe shape now. It's worse. Now it's too close together. Okay. I mean, to be honest, I should probably get rid of this. And try it again. Going from one straight one to another. I mean... None of them look good. That's... Yeah, that's a problem. Use the auto 2D, yeah. I mean, I thought out of any of them that would look quite nice, but... It's not dreadful. I think that is just the best thing I can try and opt for right now. So let's just go for it. Can do one there. Is it a 1 gap? It's a 2 gap. Okay. No. Right, let's try this again. So now you're going to come up to here. You to there, then you to here. Does that look slightly better, at least? I mean, it's fine. I think it's what we're going to go for, because everything else just looks a little bit weird. Although, That looks fine from this angle. I've got a feeling that's going to change though when I get a bit closer to it. Computer and archaeology. Well, we don't... It depends. It depends what you do. To some extent, yes, you are going to have to know a little bit of technology. So when it comes to archaeology, you don't just find a place where you think something is going to be there and start digging. You do quite a lot of research on the land. You use tech to see if there is actually anything underneath there. Sometimes there is, and then sometimes there isn't. Why have you done that? Okay, let me just redo all this. Well, not all of it, just a lot of it. Now, thank you very much to the new follower here on YouTube. Thank you very much. I do greatly appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. So, let's see, 1-2 gap. It's only a 1 gap there, in fact. So I could probably end up pushing you back to here. I can. There we go. Then you will then connect to here using Auto 2D. I'll say Auto 2D is the best thing I can probably try and use here. Everything else just looks really weird. This doesn't look great, but it does look better. Shift plus control nudge to be able to vertically angle more precisely. I can use a scroll wheel like that if you're talking about the hypertube support. But if I try and press control, it just locks into one certain place. Oh well, it's fine. Now let's try and work on the other side of this. Again, this is important to do, but I do want to try and work over there as well. I did the exact same thing on our last stream, where for whatever reason, I just continuously get really distracted here. It's always the same part of the map. I wonder how many hours I've spent in this district. A good couple hundred, I would say. Always here. I mean, it works, that's good. Okay, the rest of it I can do either another day or off camera. That's completely fine. Let's respawn and gather some resources. There we go. Welcome, Azal. Hope that you're doing good. Welcome. Adjust the angle on inclines and declines. It should do, but didn't seem to work when I pressed it. I can do it again, but... Where's it? If I press control, it moves it. Wait, there we go. That does nothing there. Well, I can do this, but then I've got to move my mouse around. Shift is the exact thing as not pressing shift. Shift control is again just me moving my mouse around. I can't spot a difference personally. Okay, you. Yeah, you. Right, so what don't I need? Well, a lot of this, to be honest with you. Let's start with our encased industrial beams. I've got 400, and I don't need any more, so I'm not going to bother even trying to take that. Next up, we've got our quartz. I do need some of that, not that much though. We'll go for 2,000. That's more than enough, considering I've got more going into my dimensional depot. Fuel beams. Fuel beams, you need a good couple thousand, I would say. Have I got enough here? Probably not. A little bit, but yeah, definitely not enough. Let's try and get some more of that then. I'll go with 2 more stacks. We are running quite low on steel beams. I don't actually think that's a massive problem. The reason being is because in here, I hope I've got a good amount. There you go. Chuck some of that into there, chuck some of that into here. Now how many do I have? 3,000? Okay, I don't need that much. We'll go for 2k again. Iron plates, we are going to need quite a lot. In fact, let me just chuck that into there. All of this. That's almost 6,000, which I know is quite a lot. But what I can do then is empty that into here. Not all of it, just a little bit. That's now 5,600. I'm actually fine with that. And let's see how much concrete I can get. Which we haven't got any there. I know we haven't got any here. So I'm hoping we are going to have a little bit here. Yeah, that's only about 11k. That's fine for now. Have you been distracted by other games lately? Mostly NMS. And Turtle WoW. I've got no idea what NMS is. Unfortunately. Yeah, it's good to have every once in a while to switch games over. Like, sometimes it can be quite boring playing the same game again and again. Saying that as I play Satisfactory again and again and actually quite enjoy it, but yeah, it's important to take a break every now and then, absolutely. Oh, No Man's Sky, yes. People have been trying to convince me to stream, not stream it, but play it off camera. I'm unsure, maybe like one day. Never say never. However, it won't be happening anytime soon. Why are you both yellow? Alright, okay. Let's not do that. Let's get a little bit more concrete, then we'll head back to where we just were. Which is going to be, let's see. Here. Yes, yeah, go to there. I have realised I haven't actually got enough fuel, so it's probably a good idea that I try and get some of that. In fact, what I can do is then go to fuel. No. Fuel, thank you. And that will definitely do quite nicely. Let's get into our cannon. I wonder how much longer this would take if the hypertube cannon wasn't a thing. A lot longer. A lot. Yeah, just continue that all the way up there now. Okay, brilliant. Not too bad at landing. A little bit shaky. Right. Get our blueprint started. Make sure the arrow is pointing in the right direction there. Which is left. It's not right. It is right, it's just not right, if you know what I mean. You need a new PC so bad. You think after Christmas you're going to finally pull the trigger on one? Oh, nice. Your PC is like a 10-year-old i7. Yeah, mine was the exact same. I was in the exact same boat because it's at that stage where it can run games, especially older games, but for the newer games especially, it was struggling quite a lot. It served its time. It definitely served its time because mine was from, let's see here. I've been back in this country since 2020. 5 years. At the end of 2020 we came back. I got it 4 years before then. So it would have been 9 years now. Since I bought my PC. And I've only just switched out a couple of months ago. So yeah, it's necessary. But for example, right now I could quite easily play games like Age of Empires on my old laptop or on my old PC, but the problem is when it comes to games like Satisfactory, it struggles after a while. Hence why there is always so many crashes whenever I used to stream. How am I out of concrete? I don't understand what happens. I know what happens. Because the reason why it always says I'm out of concrete is because I've selected 10 of that particular kind of blueprint, but I'm placing down that, then another one, then that again, then another one. So it might show that I've only placed down 4, but in actuality it's more than 4 because I'm also placing down the other blueprints. Okay, that makes sense. I know most of you probably knew that, but I was just wondering because that shouldn't keep happening, but no, it should because yeah. Did we ever find the arc? Oh, for which one? There we go. Your GPU came out of your PC before the 10-year-old i7. Wow. I think did I have an i7 as well? I think I must have. Yeah. I'm not even quite sure of the specs of my old PC. But basically, when it came out 9-10 years ago, actually, when I got it, it was already about a year or two old anyway. But when it came out, I would say it was top of the middle range. It wasn't top range because that was just like a ghastly amount of money. But it was top of the middle. And it was fine. But the problem is, what was once top of the middle 10 years ago is now probably middle of the bottom nowadays. Because tech is just advancing and advancing, unfortunately. Well, I say unfortunately, it's good in some regard. Okay, so I've still got tons of steel beams left over. Tons of iron plates. Tons of quartz. It's just concrete again that I keep running out of. But that was good progress. As we wait for our concrete to fill up again, I think what we're going to do is just connect all of these together. Make sure everything's also correct, which it is. That's why I keep looking behind me, just to make sure everything is definitely connected, that I haven't accidentally placed a blueprint in the sky, which I've done before. But sometimes you'll lock a blueprint into place, and then when you click construct, it sometimes builds it not where you thought you locked it into place. Because you might have moved your mouse at the very last second. It happens to me quite a lot. Like, I'll look at where I want the thing to go, I'll look at my keyboard, press the lock button, which is H for me, and then suddenly this is over there or something. I'm just like, how have I done that? How am I that unbelievably stupid that I've somehow managed to do that? I realised I said the word manage there twice in that sentence, but oh well. How did I manage that? To be fair, it's probably a good time to work on my little intersection now. Little junction. I know, okay, I thought you were going to lock into place. Apparently not. There you go. The reason as to why I always build this up is because if a truck has to try and come underneath here, and this is built at this level, it's just, the truck's going to hit it. I'd rather the truck doesn't hit it. Oh, okay. Because when you said when you found the arc, I thought you were talking about something to do with Satisfactory. What arc did they add in Satisfactory? No, I haven't found anything. I haven't done any archaeology yet. That's the problem. That's why I'm having to go to uni. I don't want to go to university. I just want to get a job and get on with my life. No, I have to get a piece of paper saying that, oh, you went to university, you now know what a Roman is. It's like, I hate it. Like, I shouldn't have to spend £50,000 just so that someone can hire me. Especially for something like archaeology, which in theory, I understand some parts of it are quite complex. But it's not like I'm going into bioscience or anything that's actually academically important. But every single, well, I say every single, like the ones I looked for, the jobs at least, they're saying, no, you have to have this piece of paper saying that you know what, how to dig a hole and a bit more about the Roman and Greek periods, which first of all, the Greeks never came to Britain, so I do care about the Greeks, obviously. I think the history is really fascinating, but it's not really what I am going to be, what's the word? My forte won't be in the Greeks, it'll be in the Romans, basically. Because there's a lot more Roman stuff here in the UK, and I think they're quite cool. So that's what I'm going to hopefully study mostly in. We'll see how time goes. Because my next term is literally just about Romans. Which is, again, I'm looking forward to it, if I'm honest. Right, so what were you? You were 001. Congratulations. Did you randomly switch rotations? No, you're fine. Okay, good. I thought you just randomly switched there, but no, you seem completely fine. The BBC, yeah, exactly. Yeah. This one. There we go. Missing concrete. Wow, now that is unexpected. Wow, me missing concrete from no. This is fake news. Right, let's do our power underneath here because we are actually getting quite. Oh dear. This is all too high. This is the level that my logistics floor should be on, and that's the current level it's on. Which means you've all got to get lowered down. Or I increase the height of that, which I don't really want to do. Which, yeah, okay, right. That's fine. It's looking good. Well, it's going to go. Oh, well, I mean, the good thing is, I've got all my resources here now, so it's not too far away for me to go collect. So how am I going to try and do this then? I can't ramp it down. It might look a little bit weird. I want all this to be on the exact same level. Oh, well. Put that there as well. My game is lagging a little bit every single time I remove the blueprints. And you can still just about see all of my hypertubes, which I might actually be able to collect if I time my jumps perfectly right. There we go. Oh, this has turned into a long day. I think it's looking fine so far. Again, the second thing that I wanted to try and do today was figure out a location for my water extractor factory thing. And I think a good place for it to be is literally all the way along there. And when I say a factory, it's not necessarily going to actually be a factory, just rows upon rows of water extractors. And here's a pretty good place for it. It's got a nice logistics, well, road coming around here, which is fine. I can always add another road coming here as well for more logistic room, so that's always a possibility. We've also got quite a bit more crude oil to try and collect. I'm not doing that today because that's just a bit annoying, but yeah. Right, so all of you are built too high here as well then. Including the intersection I just placed down. So, if the right level is here, that means all of this has to be lowered down here as well. By how much is now the next question. Yeah, my saves are the same as well. Like, it doesn't look like I've got 500 hours on this world, but I do. I do. Right, so you have to come down by... Oh, no, that's bad. Okay. By 9. The reason why that's bad is because I'm using 2-meter implements. Ramps things. Where are they? These. So because I've got an odd number, it means I have to snap a blueprint into this. And then have a 1-meter ramp rather than a 2-meter ramp, which is different to every other ramp I've placed down in my current playthrough. Right, okay, so everything here has to get removed. Everything. This can stay, everything up until around about here. In fact, maybe all of this... No, it's fine, because... No, it's okay. I just can't be asked. Right. So what I want to try and do is then place this in the right location. Which is going to be somewhere down here. I then want to make sure this is out the way. So like this. Are you facing the right way? Yep. Right, so then, yes, you have to be on this level. Right. Just try and make sure that the middle is lined up here. Right about there, I'd say is pretty good. Put the thing on the platform. Yeah, I know how it happened. It's just a little bit annoying. Oh well. Now the problem is you're no longer lined up. So let's just try and line you up. Because if you're not lined up, then nothing else in my grid's going to be lined up. Which means that now you should be correctly lined up with this. Yes, that's good. And I think, in theory, this is where I want to build it. This blueprint might actually move in a sec, but it's in the right location, the right height at least. The next thing to then do is to try and figure out how exactly I'm going to do this properly. Put it on the platform. Oh no, it's fine now. Like that's in the right place. I suppose we're going to need this. There. Yes. I think that... Is that still definitely lined up? It is. Then the last thing now is going to be that. Okay. Now this is kind of the moment of truth. I don't expect this is going to line up. As you can see, it doesn't. It's off by 1 meter. So you have to be on this level no matter what. Which now means that this is going to be ramped too high. What's the fix for this? The fix is going to be to move you forwards until eventually you just merge into that. Which means that we then have a weird gap in here. I can't move this forward because that means you're then going to be on a little half meter little slope thing. What I can try and do is plop this down here, then manually connect everything together here, which shouldn't take that long. Redo that obviously because you're currently aiming into the sky, into the galaxy, which I don't really want you to be. And the thing is, if I do place you down here, you are completely fine. You're on the grid, you're on the right level, and you're then connected to that. So I think that's going to be the plan then. I don't have to worry too much about the lights underneath here, because that's mostly for if I was building this 100 feet in the sky. I'm not. I'm building it on the sea level. So let's just do that then. Let's plop this down. To be fair, considering how bad this problem could have been, I think we did quite well to avoid a potentially pretty bad situation. I don't know if I want to keep that. I can. Why not? Make sure all of this is connected. You can stay. So can you, and so can you. Okay. Now, this could potentially be a little bit challenging because the way everything's done. But I think what I have to do is just do this. A custom-made ramp, I could have, but the thing is, this is just far easier. You can tell where it does intersect a little bit. I believe as long as I get rid of that... It's the easiest way to do this. Firstly, connect to that. You now lined up? That seems better. Yeah, this just doesn't look too neat. We'll get rid of that. Same thing here as well. Isn't that the one that I just placed down? Oh no, that was the one. Okay. I'm gonna say, that looked fine a second ago. And it still is fine, it's just I was looking at the wrong one. Is that the right level? Looks good to me. Let's keep going. Somewhere around there. There we go. And for now, you can just connect into there, just so I can see how this looks. Looks fine. I am going to move you to here, which is a bit more in between everything. And I think now our problem has been solved. I think that looks pretty good. Same thing here. Again, you can tell it's a little bit close together. A good fix for this is most likely going to be that. If I can. Yep. Then get rid of this. This won't necessarily be lined up, but I don't think that's a massive problem. I know I could have just ramped it down over there, but the thing is, if I notice a problem, I have to fix it. Otherwise, it would just annoy me. So. I'm not saying this is necessarily 1,000 times better, but oh well. That's where you need to be. Get our lights back. Okay, now you don't want to line up. Okay, why? Why not? Oh, you just decided to work now, that's fine, okay. Whatever. We can then get rid of that, lovely, then add in this. Okay. How does it look from underneath? In fact, let me just finish everything up here first. Just so I can get it out of the way with. And after we connect this, everything should now be sorted. Right. Well, that wasn't as bad as I thought so far. It's not over yet. You've got to do this and this. Then you're going to go up into around about there. I won't do this now. Again, I could do this off camera. The problem is though, off camera, I don't really do much Satisfactory stuff. For the same reason that I don't stream longer than 3 hours normally. Because if I do Satisfactory for a few hours off camera and then I stream, it's, you know, it's almost like less motivating. I do try and balance out my time as well as I can. Not just for this game, by the way, but for almost every game I play. I limit myself to how long I actually spend playing. Not just in case I get bored, but also I want to try and get things done in my day. And as much as I love gaming, sometimes I can reduce my productivity in the day, obviously. So yeah. Okay, in here everything just looks completely fine. There's a bit of a larger gap here, but it's okay. It looks really nice in here actually. I love the way this has turned out. With the ramp all connecting to itself and then just being above sea level. Like I was saying in my last stream, as long as there isn't a tsunami, we should be okay. And as far as I'm aware, there isn't any. I mean, can you imagine they add that in update 1.2? They never will, don't get me wrong. Maybe a mod might, but adding some sort of natural disasters into this game, that will ruin 95% of my factories overnight. So, let's hope that that doesn't ever happen. So, fingers crossed. Right, I want to try and keep this here for now. Because the thing is, right, I want my T-section to be there. Wait, let me just double check something. I might be able to save some time there with the intersection, with the hypertubes on top. Let me just try and see. Also, are you definitely the right level now? I know I'm second guessing myself when I probably shouldn't be, but firstly, you definitely line up with that, and then you definitely line up with that, so this is correct. Brilliant. And as long as that's correct, then that should also be correct. I don't see why that wouldn't be. But let me just make sure you are on the same level as that. Okay. Let's just go. Connect the concrete pours to the unique part to make it look internal. Connect the concrete pours to the unique part. Do you mean in the blueprint? I think the blueprint's fine for now. If I do have to change things, I'll change it. But as of right now, I think it's fine. Okay, yeah, this definitely does look like we are now building on the right level. I want to make absolutely certain I am. Brilliant. Okay. So that's not too bad. A little bit of a diversion there. As you can see, everything's now lined up properly. I do think this corner is going to be a little bit of a nightmare, because that isn't lined up to that. The reason as to why it's not lined up is because this gap was very tight. And in order for me to guarantee that I could have definitely managed to fit this highway through that gap, I had to place down the first bit of the highway over there. Hence why everything was different heights, because I didn't actually get the height correct. What I did, I brought this out to here, but the problem was, when I placed down my blueprint, I placed it down so that it lined up with this foundation like so. That is now perfectly lined up. What I didn't realize was that it was supposed to be on this level, not this level, so I didn't lower it down properly. That's basically it. Different game, but yeah, definitely, because natural disasters wouldn't really work for this. I mean, I don't think it would be a good idea, I just thought it would be interesting. I think lots of bad ideas are interesting. Doesn't mean I like them. Right. So let's start again. Ooh, that was a perfectly timed little jump. Almost like I knew what I was doing after how many hours of this game? 4,000. Right. We've been live for over an hour. What the heck? I haven't done anything. I haven't done anything. Oh, that's... wow, okay. Also, I just realized I can't keep that there because that's built too high. Right. Let's try and get a move on. I want to try and get this entire thing finished within the next 6.5 years. So that's 001. Plop you in the right direction. Wait, why do you snap instantly? You shouldn't snap instantly. There should be a gap here. What's the reasoning for this? Because you're probably facing the wrong way. That's fine. To be honest with you, I don't... That's not important. There we go. That's the gap I was looking for. We're now completely fine. I'm not building another custom road just yet. It's just continuing this. There's no need for me to make a blueprint that is already completely functional. The heck? Hello? I don't know what that snapped onto there, but it wasn't going down. There we go. It wasn't yelling timber. Sorry, it's a song. Is everything here now correct? Is there a gap there? Yep. Okay, everything is now finally okay. Brilliant. So now that I know that the T section is going to go here, I can get rid of this. And unfortunately all of this, even though I literally just placed it down. There we go. And let's continue with our junction. Which is there. How is that? I think that's actually fine. Yeah, it looks good to me. Although again, we did say that this has to move slightly, but not a concern as of right now. Again, if I really wanted to, I can just do that off camera. As long as the... Oh. Really? Did I not make sure the markings were fine? I severely remember doing this. Oh, that's then my game crashed. Yeah. Oh, sorry. My blueprints were bugged. This is the thing I was hoping would have been correct, because I remember doing it, but then I think again that's when the blueprint started to act a bit funny. Brilliant. Then what I'm going to do now is make sure that you're lined up with this, which you are. That's brilliant. Plop you down there, and that you do the exact same thing over here, just like so. Everything should be lined up. There should be absolutely no problems. There we go. The road. Yeah, that was fine. I didn't need to do that. Because the reason why there's a gap is because of this. It's the double beam connector. That's the only reason why there's a visible gap there. And also because of this. But I need that to stick out because that slots into this perfectly. So, yeah. I don't really mind there too much being a gap because I can just very simply solve that problem. I can keep that. These T-sections do take a little bit of time to do, although I don't particularly mind because it takes a couple seconds, yeah, but got nothing better to do. Let's chuck you in there, why not? There we go. And at least now I know everything should be correct. There's nothing that I can think of that would be incorrect with what I built so well, so fingers crossed. We should be fine now. Although you're built in different levels, of course you are. You're fine. Into that. Okay. Beautiful. Final things final for this part. Of that into there. Okay. Now, am I actually ever going to use this hyper tube system? No, but it's still good to have it here though. Because odds are I probably will end up using it someday. No, I knew that was going to happen. Gosh darn it. There we go. And get rid of that. The good thing about this particular project is that I'm not necessarily doing anything too complex. I'd say it's nice and simple. And it's pretty good fun. It's quite relaxed. The music's quite relaxing. The music that I currently am not listening to, but quite relaxing. I've had my headphones on for a while, hence why I've now taken them off. That's the only reason. Let's go for Auto 2D. In fact, I actually see here for a sec. If I was to do this, I can just place this in here. Okay. I'd rather not though. Just do it properly. Did I not place one of you down here like just a second ago? Okay. Oh well. Another bug that I've seen in the last couple of days is that these hypertube junctions are sometimes invisible. Same with these branches as well. So you'll place it down, then it just removes itself. It doesn't delete itself, it's still there, but the actual like mesh of the item is gone. It's really weird. Okay. This is fine, except you're not the right blueprint though. It doesn't matter, because luckily if I remove this, this isn't much of a problem. There we go. Everything here just remains the exact same, so it's completely fine. Blueprints. And the one that I wanted was this. Make sure you're facing left, which you are. You then slot in completely just, yeah, back to normal. How about you? Yep, one in again. Ooh, the way that rose from the water, that's pretty cool. Can we see that again? Well yes, because I'll be placing a lot more of these. Oh, okay. It doesn't work for that one, apparently. Typical. Okay, is this the right one? Missing concrete. Really? How am I missing oh, to be fair, I've got a lot of stuff in my inventory. Not much of it is actually concrete. That's unfortunate. Okay, we'll go over here, just dump a bunch of it out, and then just go back to what we were doing before. A Sunday stream? What day is it? Today's Tuesday. Is Sunday new? It doesn't even matter. Yeah, I'll be streaming Sunday most likely. I was gonna say is it New Year's Day, but I stream New Year's Day anyway, so. There we go. Just chuck all of this into here. We'll come back a pretty decent way. I shouldn't need too many of this. I'm gonna say that's probably fine. I will go for one more though. Don't need any of that. That. Definitely don't need this. Apparently we actually do need more iron plates. So I think what I'll do is I'll stop there. I'll then just go gather a lot of concrete and then a decent amount of iron plates, and that should be fine for our next little run. And then again, luckily we've got all the resources here that I need, so that's quite handy. Yeah, that's plenty. We are still missing a little bit of concrete, but that will continue to fill up as we place down blueprints, so that's completely fine. Let's go. Again, thank you very much to everyone that's tuning into the stream today. I do greatly appreciate that. Today we are working on our conveyor belt highway. There's quite a lot to do in not much time, so we're trying to get as much of it done today as possible. We're not going to get all of it done, but that's no dramas. There we go. So that was the little mistake that, well, another mistake solved, which is great. You're facing the right way. Let's continue. Try and get a good 10 blueprints down at least, I'd say. Good. I'm trying to find the best place to stand here to make life a little bit easier for myself. I don't think there is one. Just as close to the edge as possible, I suppose. See, right there, that was the nudge thing that I was telling you about earlier, where I look at it, I place it where I last saw it, and then it just removes, it then moves itself, which is kind of annoying. Oh well. Yeah, we can get a couple more of these down easily. And the good thing is, we should still have a good ton of blueprints, resources over there as well, so that's quite handy. How's everything looking? Everything is completely correct so far. I know, that's incredible. Even I'm surprised. You there? I think I can afford just one more of these with the items that I've currently got on me. Like that. Oh, there's the box. So this must have been exactly where we got up to until I realized, oh yeah, I'm building this on the wrong level. Okay, that's a lot more concrete than I was expecting. That's fine. Oh dear. To be honest, we can probably... yeah, we can go quite far with this. What was this one? Your 002? This. There we go. Wasn't watching live, that's okay. I make that mistake sometimes as well. One more. There we go. Oh, wrong one. Does that line up? It does. So as long as everything here just works, easier said than done, but as long as it just works, then this is not too bad. We are missing a little bit of quartz, although it's no dramas, so let's just wait for that. Also missing iron plates, 490? No, we're not. Maybe we were, but we're not now. Anyway, that's good. So, what I want to try and do is make sure all of this is connected. Go back and get some more resources, which we will be doing quite a lot today, so don't be too surprised by that. And then, yeah, just make sure everything's connected down here. Also, how many more resources have I got in here? It can't be too much more now. It is somehow a lot more. Wow, okay. I don't know why there's so many resources in here. Generally do not know. What I'll do is make sure that I've got... And actually, you know what? That's a lot more concrete than I realized. How many of these blueprints can I now afford? Let's try and go for 6. And dump some other resources in here that I might not necessarily need. Like you. Definitely not that. Don't need anywhere that much of the steel beams. Any more plates? Yeah, okay. We can place down a few more of these. I had no idea I had that much concrete left. Whoops. Well, I say whoops, actually, it's a pretty good thing, so I'm happy I've got that much left. But I can't really place much more than 6 of these blueprints now, I'd say. Maybe 7 on a good day, but let's see. So, you were 001, let's get 002, and let's continue building. Lovely. We have got a few things I do want to try and make sure is fine. For example, the hypertubes, got to make sure that they're all connected. And then probably the power. That's another good thing I want to try and work on there as well. There we go. The internet's slow. Yeah, that might cause the stream to sometimes pause. Hence why you thought you might have been watching live, but then it actually wasn't. Okay. There isn't really too much further I can go now. Maybe one more blueprint here, or one more blueprint over there. Then we're going to try and see how we're going to squeeze this corner in. Because something tells me it's going to be a little bit of a struggle session, which is fine. Because it means I can wait for my resources to, well, not die. To come back. Replenish. Right, what are you? Doesn't actually say what you are. That doesn't really help. You're a 003. Let me just place this down. So this should be different from that. It is. Feels weird building from this angle now. I'm so used to building from the other way. There we go. Now, I don't actually want to place in one more of these. What I do want to try and do is select our corner and plop you down where I think will be necessary. Which, spoiler alert, is going to be in the, hopefully, the right place. Let's see. So you're off by 1 foundation. That's kind of annoying, but again, I can just build that out by hand. That's completely fine. You're off by at least 3, so it's probably easier if I just place a blueprint on top of that, pretty much. Overlap the blueprint slightly. You seem pretty good. You're actually lined up there, which I kind of don't want you to be. I think what I'll do is this. 1, 2. fine? Not really. I think I want you to be here. There. That's better. And then get in a couple of you lot. Like so. Okay, so that's now what I want to try and replicate on this side. I can leave that empty, that's completely fine. And do the same thing over there. I can, there we go. And for this, is it a 3 gap? 1, 2, 3. Brilliant, it's actually a 4 gap. That makes this a little bit less complicated then. Because all I've got to try and do is... Oh, nice. What? I suppose it's this. Wait, yes. Yep. Okay. We'll get this. And again, I know this is going to overlap slightly by a full foundation over on the other side, but it's actually fine. Like, it's not a bad thing. In theory, as long as it doesn't look too weird, which it probably will do. At least for now. Get rid of this. Add you into the middle. Although I probably don't actually want this particular blueprint though. I want the other one, because then if I do have the other one, I can then add in the corner power tower thing. Let's see. Oh dear. Somewhere around here. Are you facing the right way? I suppose. Let's try. A nice little gap over there. You line up pretty decently. Well, I mean, obviously you didn't, but that's to be expected, really. Let's try and see what the problem is. Starting with this, I can move you into there. Then move you into here. And get rid of this. And try and replicate what we just did over on the other side now. Which is here. Right. So again, keep you there. Keep you here as well. Like that. Okay. That's alright. That's fine. Although I think I might even want to get rid of this, although that will make that a little bit weird, so I think what might be a little bit easier for us to try and do is to build this up. And plop down you right about there. If you want top, okay. Brilliant. Same thing now with you. Okay. Now, apparently you actually aren't overlapping anything. You just look a bit weird. There we go. Give it some light. Yeah, this was always gonna... Oh no, you're fine. Okay. I forgot that's how I designed it. You thought that was a good idea. Oh yeah, me. Next thing to do. Obviously I've got to add in this. In fact, yeah, let's do that now. There we go. Yeah, today's stream is going to be a little bit shorter than usual. I did previously explain that. I know I haven't been streaming as much as I used to, but yes, life comes first. I would apologise, but I've got nothing to apologise for. Right. There we go. Okay, so I don't know where the other concrete wall was placed, but okay, it's in the void now. It's gone. Oh, and it's placed up here, which is exactly where I was looking. And the good thing is, because we're off by, well, we're not off, but because it's not lined up properly, by exactly one foundation, it means I can just very easily fix that mistake. Place you into here. And the whole point of me doing this is that I don't want it to be obvious that it's not lined up properly. Wait, didn't I say I was going to replace this? Okay. So I wanted this one, I think we said. I thought I literally just replaced that. Oh, whatever. Okay, so you're now going to line up with you. Are you definitely right this time? Okay, you are. Good. The reason, by the way, as to why I've got a concrete wall there rather than the regular basic one is because of this. So when I add the concrete wall, it kind of just hides the fact that there is a bit of Z snapping. So just in case you're wondering why I went with that design, it wasn't intentional. It was literally to hide the Z snapping. So of a behind the scenes thing there. Go out like this. I know this wasn't the design that I've done down there, but actually I prefer this, I think. It's quite nice. Exactly, it's a side hustle. It literally is a hustle. Like, I will spend sometimes a dozen hours to make a video. Especially those best recipe ones. They're not easy to make. The whole point is I spend a lot of time doing it so that other people don't have to. That's literally the entire point of the series. There we go. Okay. Brilliant. The next thing, and I think one of the final things I want to do now regarding this particular corner, before I go back to the very start, then make my way back and do a bunch of improvements. Not improvements, like connecting things like hypertubes and power and all that, is I want to try and add in this. Now, I haven't actually added this in for quite a while, so I want to try and see if it's going to work and look nice, obviously. So that's going to be close enough. I would say that's almost bang on. It is bang on, I would say. Yep, beautiful. We'll pop that into there. Then get rid of all this. You can... In fact, you can probably go. Then get rid of this. And bring you forwards up to around about there. Beautiful. Don't worry too much about that. Although you are a slightly different colour. Oh wait, no, I think we're the same colour as the power tower thing, so that's actually fine. That's all good. Then that's where the tower goes. And yeah, brilliant. Okay. So, as I just said, let's make our way down there. And when we come back this way, we'll then do, just as I say, a bunch of improvements. The first thing that I want to... Actually, you know what? As I'm going back, let's just start off with this. It's the easiest thing I can do. And then on the way back to the... Suppose we can go all the way down to there. What I want to try and do is then place in where I want the power towers to go. And on the way back, I then place in the power towers. And on the way back there again, I then connect all the power. And on the way back to the center, which is here, I then do the hypertubes, and that should be this entire thing completely done. All the powers connected, all the hypertubes, all the power towers, everything. And of course, as we're doing this, we are generating resources as well. So a bunch of concrete, iron plates, everything that I'm consuming a lot of, I am also generating a lot of. So that's great. Although I thought I did a lot more of this. Maybe not. I know that for the logistics floor, I connected a good amount of the power together. I was expecting this would be the same here as well, but again, clearly not. There we go. Okay, so you're the very first ones. So I'm ignoring this. Wait. Oh, damn. I made a mistake straight away there. So in theory now, I'm not going to before anyone gets concerned. All of this has to be removed because I did this wrong. Is there any way I can not do that? Because I can't really get rid of you because you're quite important where you currently are. Okay. Shame I didn't spot that a while ago, because again, this entire thing is now technically wrong. There we go. So, if I was to get rid of this and replace it with the other blueprints, the gap would then be from there to there, which would be a very evident gap. You can clearly see it's not supposed to be like that. Instead, it's supposed to be to here, but that isn't a dreadfully long gap. So, let's try it. There should be fine. Which means I have to get rid of you again, and I have to get rid of you, then plop you down because you won't be right, which is always great. Okay, so let's try that again. Missed that one. It should have been here. It no longer is. And now I've got to place it down here instead. Okay. Is that even going to connect all the way? If not, then we have a serious problem on our hands that I don't think I can be actually bothered to fix today. Let's see. You're this one. Are you lined up properly? Let's see. No. No, you're not. How about now? Customize the road. Nope. I like my road the way it is. Thank you. There's no point me wasting hours upon hours building something that's just useless to me. There we go. I think it's slightly easier to connect them down here. Like that. Okay. So what I can do then, since I'm going to be on this logistics floor, I might as well just make sure that all the power is connected whilst I'm down here. Save me a job as well, so that's always quite nice. Oh, apparently none of these are connected. I've actually lost my bearings. Okay, so that is close towards my my factory. I got a little bit lost there for a second. Okay, so all of this is fine. Just double check you are definitely connected. Although that is the worst I've ever seen it. Love to know why. Love to know why. I care right now? Probably not. No. Okay. Also, this can all go from here as well. And that. The reason why I'm getting rid of these is because if I do have water here, that doesn't need a conveyor belt, it needs a pipe. And I've got nothing coming up from underneath here. So let's just start from the very beginning. And probably get rid of quite a lot of these conveyor belt things here as well. You can stay for now. Because you're going to go just, well, here. So that's kind of fine. You can go. It's a lot to do. It is a lot to do, I know. But, again, I think it's worth it, though. before I get rid of that, let me just make sure I can definitely connect a conveyor belt from here to here. I can't. Okay, good. So it's good that I made sure that I couldn't do that first. I can do that though. Then you can go to here. Then you can definitely attach onto that. Okay, good. I can probably get rid of you here now as well. Be very surprised if I couldn't. No, you gotta stay, but you have to go. Great. Let's double check. There's going to be a lot of double checking because I don't like to make mistakes. Great. Then you can go to there, so then you can go. I can just about select that. Nice. Look how much just neater this looks now. Also, I just realized you haven't got this here. Why not? It's weird. Again, a very simple thing I can just add on. Anything else I need to try and do down here? No, everything now seems fine. But yeah, nice and neat. Let's just try and keep this going. So we've got that place down there. You can go, you can stay, you can go. So basically every second one of these needs to go. Let's just try and do one thing at a time. This is what I'll do for now. I'll get rid of all of these. And focus on this. So again, you can now go. Same with this. Because you should be pretty much exactly 20 meters away. The reason why it's 20 is because each one of my blueprints is 5 foundations long. Each foundation, I believe, is 4 meters. 5 times by 4 is 20. I suppose that's how it works. I mean, either way it works, so. No matter how the logic is, it still functions. How does this look? Yeah, it looks fine. That's where we had the little kerfuffle. Can I just very quickly select this? Yes. You can reach. Can you reach? Yep. Then you should be able to go over there. Yep. Brilliant. Maybe not them two. Got that there as well. Is this one gone? Yep. Okay, brilliant. The reason why I'm tidying this up, even though in theory it doesn't need it, is that when I do end up placing whatever it is I am going to be placing down here, it just makes it a little bit easier. And the thing is, again, if I am going to be bringing in an absolute ton of pipes, in theory, I don't actually need any of these conveyor poles. And if I was to be bringing in those pipes, where would I be doing that from? Also, why is there a massive just dome there? I didn't go out that far out, did I? I wonder, if I go out with my camera, does that decrease the fog of war? Because I know that I was trying to get some cinematic shots the other day. No. Oh, that's weird then. Oh well. So how many water extractors do I need? Well, first of all, how much water do I need? 5,701. Which is 50 water extractors. Which produce 120 water each. If I combine 3 of them together, Cancel 4 of them together. That's 480 water. I could do 5 for 600, but I don't trust that. So I'll do 4 per pipe, which means that in total I'm going to need 12 pipes of water. Okay, and 50 water extractors isn't really that many. So where are we? There we go. This is the first quarter, bear in mind. So now this is going to get replicated over there, there, and there. What I can do is place my water extractors facing inwards like that, which means that I can probably connect it to one of these pipes instead, rather than having to worry about transporting water along here. However, having said that, I do also want to try and carry water from here to other parts of my world, most likely via this exact conveyor belt highway. So if I am going to be dealing with so much water, and resource-wise, what am I actually... Well, I know that I do need some stuff. We need the pipes and the nitrogen gas. Let me try and get my math sheet open very quick. Just so I can try and see how much water, nitrogen, crude oil, and other stuff I'll probably be bringing over. There we go. So we've got this plus... Let's see. I'm going to keep that up there. Add one more of these down here, but then this is going to include everything from down over here. And 4,426.5 crude oil. Welcome back, Vinod. You'll die if you had gone further out on stream. That's probably why. Oh yeah, that was ages ago. I'm surprised you remembered that. Keyboard glitching is fine. So that's what I need. Okay. Along this conveyor belt highway, we're probably going to collect all of this crude oil here as well, which is 369, 1,150, I would say. There we go. Which is 2 conveyor belt lines. That's 600, so that's 1. That's 3 conveyor belt lines. Combine you guys together, that's 1 as well. So that's 4 conveyor belt lines, 5. And then, how much nitrogen? 1,200. I know the exact cluster that I need. 3, 6, 9, 1.2, 1.5, 1.8, 1.950. You're going to be transported as a gas. The problem is... Oh, that's annoying. I don't want to transport you as a 600, so what I'm probably going to end up doing is combining 3 of you together. And then transporting 3 in a 2 pipe. So in total it would be 3, 6, 900, but then 450 each. So 2 pipes, 4 pipes, 5 pipes, you'll be by yourself. Let me just write this down. So we said 5 pipes in the end. And then when it comes to our crude oil, I'm not transporting that as a liquid, I'm transporting that as a solid, and I'll have to bring in our package, well, containers. So, okay, this is glitched. Why is everything glitching today, man? Holy crap. 3, 6, 9, 1,200, 1,350. I can fit that on 2 Mark 5 pipes. 2 carrying the packaged crude oil, and 2 returning the canisters. That's 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 5 pipes, 7. I was going to say 7 constructors. 7 conveyor belts. Right. So what honestly might be easier then, if I got rid of literally all my logistic stuff down here, went into the blueprint designer and designed the blueprint that was connecting 7 conveyor belts and 5 pipes together, then all I'll have to do is this. Does this feature even have it? No, I think it's the conveyor belt. There we go. No. No. Either way, the thing that allows me to connect one blueprint to another blueprint and also connect all the logistics as well. As long as I plop down that, then we should actually just be fine. That'll then make this really simple to do. And in total, that's 12. Oh, that's actually quite annoying. It's 12. Because we can only come out here by 11. Which means that one thing is going to be on top of another, which is fine. Like it's okay. But at least now it makes this a little bit easier for me. So just get rid of everything. I know I could have designed the blueprints with nothing here, but sometimes I actually do want this many conveyor belt supports. Whatever they're called. When you remember very not helpful stuff. Yeah, I'm like that as well. It's annoying, but sometimes quite useful. Okay, to be fair, I think what I'm going to do now, rather than doing everything all at once, is I'm going to go down to the T section and make everything in here just as neat, as nice as possible. Which won't take that long to do. Then, on our way back, we'll hook up all the power above here. Then we'll see where we can go from there. And that'll be fun. It's a lot of work to do today, but I've got nothing better to do in my life. So, here we are. And get rid of that there as well. I mean, there is a lot, but again, this will be massively helpful in the future. Because it's probably going to cut down the amount of time that I spend on logistics by about 80%, I would say. Because all I'll have to do is literally just plop down the blueprint and it automatically connects with itself. Which takes 10 seconds most to do. Rather than individually having to connect all of my conveyor belts. And then the pipes. Which sometimes glitch as well, because then they'll connect to the pipe supports, then like loop around like that, which is so annoying. But they do, so. And again, this is definitely something I can do off camera here now as well. I want to try and do as much of it on camera, just to show you guys, in fact, yeah. I think what I'm honestly going to do is maybe do a lot of this off camera, because it might be a bit boring for you guys, and I don't want you to, well, get bored. So, I think what I'll do is, up to around about here, which is where we've got to so far, try and make everything just look perfect. Power towers connected, pipes, not pipes, blueprint made of the thing I was talking about. I can then show you what I mean by just my logistics being nice and simple. Connect the power. You guys are already all connected up into around about, again, this sort of point here. So I'll do... What can I do? There you go. I'll do that to around about there. And let's see how it goes then, shall we? Let's see how it goes. Make sure you're nice and snug into here. Grand. Okay. And then when it comes to our power tower, I don't think it necessarily matters which direction the stairs are facing, as long as the actual tower thing is correct, which can be found here, can't it? There you go. Power tower platform. Yay. I think this side's fine. Yeah. Okay. Let's do it. We'll do that there, then do this here. Brilliant. Okay. And one more over here then as well. Then these should be able to connect. The gap between this one and this one is quite far, but if I remember correctly, the range on these things is incredible. So I'm hoping to use that for like the first time ever to my advantage. Let's see. I think you're actually in the right spot already. Oh. No moving required. Brilliant. Now, let's see. I select you. Yeah, so you actually do connect to that, no problem. I wonder how far can you actually go? Let's see. You really like the design of the conveyor belt highway. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think it looks fine. Yeah, I don't mind it. I was saying this a little bit earlier on, but trying to think of new designs every single season is quite difficult. But I think this one it's alright. Because the thing is, what I normally do is I then add a train on top of this. So it's regular logistics, highway, train. With some other random stuff. Then there's a glass, then there's God knows what. And it's a lot, right? It's a lot. But what I've gone for this time with no train is just a little bit easier. What I can do is add a train design if I need to. Quite simply, in fact. All I have to do is go to the blueprint designer, design something that goes up every so often like that. Place a half foundation here in the middle. Place a rail on top, and there you go. That's a one-way rail system. If I want a two-way rail system, then... I'm not doing that. It can't be asked. No. No. I'm not doing much rail stuff this season. I don't want to. That's the whole point of this season, is to move a whale. Move a whale? Maybe in the behind the scenes, but no, move away from trains and more onto drones and mostly conveyor belts, because as I've always discussed, conveyor belts are so much more reliable. What am I trying to do here? Oh yeah, this. There we go. Always put a train over your main road. Yeah, it's nice and simple. It is. Forgot to do this one. Boink. There we go. That one there is fine. Was there one more here? Yeah, there was. Anyways. Oh. I've done you in grey. Right. Oh, my game's glitched. No. There we go. Nice. What colour even was this? That's not right. Oh, I don't know what colour I've done. I found the colour. There we go. And I'm pretty sure power-wise, this is already connected. So now the very last thing I want to try and do is this logistic thing, which I'm expecting won't take too long, although how many times have I been wrong today, so I'm probably talking rubbish again. Yeah, you can move a whale if you want, that's completely fine. I mean, whatever you do in your spare time, as long as it doesn't harm anyone or yourself and isn't illegal, I don't mind. Whether that's collecting Pokemon cards, which you have to be a billionaire to collect Pokemon cards nowadays because of how expensive they are. Chat knows I've already had a rant about this in the past, so I'm going to leave it behind. But it's stupid how expensive they are now. Anyway. or you could be a Harry Potter fan. I went to platform 9 3/4 yesterday. There was literally a queue of about 200 people trying to get a picture next to the sign that says platform 9 3/4. And you know what the best thing is? He didn't film it there. He filmed it in between platforms 5 and 4 in King's Cross, which is the train station. They didn't actually film it. They filmed it in King's Cross, just not actually in between platforms 9 and 10. The Pokemon streams, yeah, that was good fun. Yes. But, like, I can't physically afford any Pokemon cards anymore. Which, I mean, it's not the end of the world, it's Pokemon, it's not, like, anything I truly cared about. But it was nice for a while, and I would have liked if that hobby continued, but no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that correct? Yeah, it must be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I'm going to need one of you. And some pipe stuff. Where is our pipe stuff? Here's our pipe stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, great. So the middle point is going to be you. It actually works out quite nicely. Unintentionally, but there you go. The next thing that I want to try and do is our pipes. The best thing for that is seeing what color here is blue. You're a nice little blue. I'm going to paint that for my pipes. If I'm transporting 400... Yeah. Sorry. Just making sure I definitely got the maths right there. You can just come down here. Although... Actually, no, you're nitrogen. Yeah, sorry, you're nitrogen. You're not even water. So what color am I going to do for nitrogen then? Chrome? No, it has to be this actually. I just realized because my other nitrogen pipes are painted the same as this, so you actually don't have much of a choice. You have to be this. There we go. You started to hate trains? The reason all 26 trains in your world, including power-related ones, got stuck at a train station after a misplaced track? For a temporary station. Oof. Yeah, trains, I don't know. I don't mind them, I just want a bit of a break from them. White was for Illumina? I've changed it. I think Illumina I'm going to do Chrome. And the reason for that is because I'm doing a lot more aluminium things than I am nitrogen gas things. So that's why I've just changed it around. It means I get to use Chrome more often, basically. Not because I'm addicted to Chrome. We've established this last season. I use it a fair amount, and a fair amount only. It just so happens to be a lot. That's a fair amount to me. Okie dokies. Now, the next thing I want to try and do here is this. It should work. I mean, I'm expecting this to work, so fingers crossed. What could possibly go wrong? Famous last words. In fact, just regarding this, if I was to transport an item here, wouldn't that just get in the way of that? Oh no, I elevated it, didn't I? Let me just double check something here. Because I'm pretty sure I did something a little bit different over here on this side. Let's see. Because all I have to do is just get back to that sort of position and I can see exactly what I've done, so that's quite handy. And bounce, there we go. Okay, we're over the 2-hour mark, which is a shame, but let me just try and finish this. I don't want to, I'm not ending the stream until I finish this. Let's just say that. Because it will generally annoy me if I don't find out what this is. Am I even going to make it up to here? Oh no. Lovely. Okay. So the way that I've done this is that I've grouped all the pipes together. Okay. I can understand my reasoning behind that. Also, you're very close together. I can stand up. There we go. Right. So, I actually changed the design here a little bit. I added this, which now allows for my resources to go through there. And then regarding this, what do you do? You just go straight through. You can't just go straight through, because then what about that? What was done here? You're fine. You're fine. Then now when it comes to this, there's nothing come up from here, but I thought that there is something that comes up from here, isn't there? There's crude oil that goes down, but oh yeah, crude oil. Right, okay, so nothing comes up from here, but the reason why it confused me is because there was stuff there, so I assumed that there was stuff that came up from there. Okay. Interesting, so remove that. And then probably just make sure the pipes are just in a corner somewhere. Okay. Does that change things? Kind of. I'm quite happy that I did actually double check that. Go back. In fact, it's probably going to be easier to respawn than use the hypertube cannon to get back over there. Let's see. Jump into here. And we'll have a very quick gander at this thing. It looks fine. Yep, I did try to put on the brakes there. I was a little bit too late. Oh well. So I believe I can stack this by 3, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. We can go 1, 2, 3. No. No, definitely no. Okay. That's not too bad then. Did they change the speed of the packaged liquid biofuel thing? I think I'm going slow today. I don't think they did, it's more of a mental thing. Right, so I'll get rid of that. You can actually then stay, can't you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Okay. And the way that I'm actually going to do this is as follows. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish live. Did I not paint you for pipes? Yeah, okay, so that should have been white, but that's fine. Then just do this. There we go. We have now got a little gap in here, but that's completely fine. I am more than alright with that. You haven't made any packaged liquid biofuel in your whole playthrough. You jumped from tower fuel to rocket fuel to ionized fuel. Wow. Yeah, I don't think I'll be getting onto any of those anytime soon. I wish I could, but I'm just not that quick. Okay, I think we're done here, because you're carrying some random stuff. I'm not going to bother painting this. I'm going to call it Conveyor Belt Highway Logistics 001. Selecting a Mark II pipe. The background color, I'm going to go with And almost black. Because it looks quite nice. There you go. Just save that. Yeah. And the plan is going to be as follows. I have to remove all this. I don't have to, but I'm going to remove all of this. Will I do that off camera? Yeah, maybe. The thing is, I don't know how much to do off camera. Because there's a lot for me to do. And everything I'm going to do off camera can make up an entire stream easily. But then I don't want to stream it and then people not enjoy it. So I might just do that off if I have the opportunity. Because again, time right now isn't really something I've got much of, unfortunately. So we'll see how things go. Right. So I want you to be like this. Pipes left. Belts right. How's that? That's directly in the middle. You're going to be there. That's actually fine. Now, what I'm planning on doing is this. If I go for a cheeky little auto connect. Okay, you're not correct there at all. There we go. Everything here lines up. Maybe not. Okay. I believe the way I've got to try and do this, if I click now... No, oh. Now how do I nudge it back then? Well, that's what I was trying to... I mean, it's nice that it does actually connect, but I want to try and nudge it back. Because you should be able to go further out than that. Oh, holy graphics. That's fine. Oh no, see, I've clicked it now, and now it hasn't placed. As you can see, this kind of fries my PC. And it will most likely fry yours as well. How far back can I go? Bloody hell. I've gone back by 48. Really? Damn. And again, do the exact same thing. Okay. Make sure it's definitely facing the right way, by the way. Which it is, luckily. I'll just keep it going. And this will save me so much time. Is it definitely in the right spot? I know I keep double checking myself, but I do it intentionally. So you're there, so you're fine. Which then means you have to kind of be fine. Yep, you are. Good. Okay. We went back by a little bit more, so let's just keep this going. Let's go. Double conveyor belts every 2. I could do. I don't mind it like this for now, but yeah, I could do that, yeah. Still going? Damn. That's the last one. Typical. There we go. After you've placed all 350 blueprints to make the extractor exterior and machinery, all of the belt work on the machinery was placed in the wrong direction. But you're not rebuilding all of them? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if you saw earlier on today, but I made a slight mistake and it took ages to fix. It wasn't anything to do with logistics. I just placed my conveyor belt highway in the wrong place. I built it too high. And that took ages to fix. Like, it took absolutely forever to do. But we did it. Which is nice. Let's keep going. I can see the end. Well, I say see the end. See where I got up to. And I'm out of resources. Wow. Doesn't take long to run out of aluminium. It really does not. Obviously, I know I can't plop this down, but let's see how many resources each one of these little boops actually cost us. Too long. Too long. Perfect. 308. Oh, wow. I'm actually out of copper sheets as well. And this is the reason why, depending on the project I'm doing, I add a different amount of resources to my dimensional depots. Like, right now, I don't have much aluminium going in. I don't have much copper sheets going in. But if I'm going to continue to do this, I'm going to make sure that I've got tons of both. Just so I'm able to actually, like, you know, do this. So, let me just wait for my copper sheets. I'll plop this down. Then we can take a nice little conveyor belt ride back to where we literally just were. And do the outro. A mod. I don't really have any other mods except for Vinod and Early. Who, won't be around much. But yeah, I have to wait and see. It depends if the chat gets busy, because as of right now, we're only having 2, maybe 3 people talking at a time, so there's not really much point having more than just one moderator. But if the time comes where I need one, then yeah. It just depends who's active. Whether you've been active for a month, or if you've been here for 3 years, but you're not that active, then, you know, it's a mix of both, like loyalty and activity. There we go. Oh. Oh. Okay. I was a bit surprised there, because I just realized my inventory is packed to the brim full of stuff that I actually quite need. And that there isn't actually that many items over here, but oh well. Regardless, that is going to be it for today. I've got a lot... Oh, yeah, I've got my little Christmas hat on. I've got a lot to do, either off camera or tomorrow. Because tomorrow is the... well, it's my Christmas stream, or Christmas Eve, but I'm not streaming Christmas Day, most likely. Because I want to spend it with my family. But regardless, thank you very much everyone for tuning in. Welcome to the 1 new subscriber on YouTube today. That's extremely kind. I'm still not streaming on Twitch because Twitch doesn't work for me anymore. And yeah, I think I'll just about do it. Can I try and see the likes? Because the amount of time I've tried to... Hello? My mouse cursor is gone. There it is, thank you. The amount of times I've tried to check likes, but it hasn't actually been correct. Like, for me, it says 3. I don't know if that's correct. I don't know. But either way, thank you guys very much for watching. I'm live again tomorrow, so if you enjoyed today's stream, you might enjoy tomorrow's stream. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I hope to see as many of you there as possible. If I don't see you there, have an amazing Christmas and a happy New Year. Goodbye.